you need to ask yourself, or we need, at least as studying Torah, or actually, what is the translation of in Hebrew of Talmid Chacham? When it's not a wise student, which is the literal, let's say, the literal translation of it. It's actually the one who study the wise one, and the wise one is the creator. So it's now within that, when we start when we look at the world, it suggests that what we see is that we are sort of food. Our petty or small or what we consider even big desires for ourselves is actually the bread and butter of the governing force of the will to receive to oneself in the world. Okay, so you can think about it in two ways. The sort of rational way that people would prefer to digest this idea would be that, like in the sea, okay, there are levels of feeding. There are the big fish, there are the medium fish, and the big fish eat the medium fish, and all the excrement actually is being eaten by, let's say, the life that exists on the bottom of the sea, which are the shrimps and all kind of sort of very sort of, they are quite elaborate, but they have a different, let's say, a different outlook and different appearance than mammals, for example. Okay, but this is so humans without consciousness are sort of, they are being the food of all the higher, and they feed on something which is expendable, their life, which feeds on its term the higher, let's say, higher forces, which we call actually the government of the world. That it's like accumulating, it's feeding. This, you can say, it's abstract, but look, we are very, even if I will not be, let's say, a devoted student of Hegel, but I would definitely can understand why Baal HaSulam actually liked him and used him. And that is understanding history in a dialectic form of sort of warring or struggling forces within the world. Okay, so if you think about this, so it's very similar to understanding the force of the right and the left. It's dialectical. It's they're opposites, but there always need to be some sort of a fraction, which is a war or a meeting point, which actually something else is being born out of it. Okay, so from an historical point of view, we can see that there are sort of accumulative trends and powers. We can see definitely today. Look at the news, let's say, not only what happens in Israel, but what happens throughout the world, and you see the trend of something is coming into a point of change because of a friction of two powers. Now it's within the power of the will to receive. That means something is feeding on it. Something is sort of causing it to happen. Okay? So you can say that people who sort of manufactured weapons, but people who manufacture weapons as well are controlled by a very big desire, common desire, to be in control of what is happening in the world. So this is basically what is being said about the ladder. That, at least this is what Baal HaSulam is saying. There are many views, but the view of Rashbi within the Zohar suggests that actually when he's saying rising, that the government rising or angel rising, meaning powers rising, it means that there is more and more control of the will to receive to oneself, and therefore the importance of faith or spirituality is going down. Okay, and then when the importance of spirituality will come up, then it will change. They will go down. So it's looking at the left side going up and down. So therefore, if we look at the left side, we can know that maybe we are not seeing because it's part of it's concealed. But as we see that those powers are rising, we can understand that the value of spirituality is decreasing. And as we see that they are going down in the influence in government, we can understand that something spiritually is being awakened and is coming up.